In today's video, we're going to go over the parts of a circle. Okay, so here we have a circle over here to our left. We have 3 different points. So the first point we have is the center. And the center is the given point in which all points are the same distance from. So it's right here, and then all these points on the circle are going to be the exact same distance from this center. And the next point we have is the radius. The radius is the distance from the center to any point on the circle. So over here, so I can get a red highlighter, this right here would be a radius because it is from the center to a point. So any from the center straight to a point on the circle is going to be a radius. The third word we have is diameter. Now the diameter is the distance across the circle through the center. So it's straight across the circle, but it must go through the center. The diameter is twice the radius. So D for diameter equals 2r. And again, 2r means 2 times r. So the diameter on our example would be right here, all the way across the circle, going through the center. Go ahead and pause this video right now if you need to go ahead and finish writing up the vocabulary words. Next, we have a circumference of a circle. So the word circumference is the distance around or the perimeter of a circle. So circumference is a fancy word to mean perimeter of a circle, okay? So right here, that is the distance all the way around the circle. And the formula for figuring out what the distance of what the circumference is going to be C equals 2 times pi times r. So 2 pi r. Again, this is pi. And pi, here's this guy, he's going to equal 3.14 for our calculations. Okay, so now looking at this first problem, I need to find the circumference of each circle using 3.14 for pi. So here I need to find this distance using what I know. I know the radius is 5 centimeters. So I'm going to write C equals 2 times pi times r. Enter the information I know. So 2 times 3.14 for pi times the radius of 5. Now this is multiplication. I need to multiply these 3 numbers. I can multiply these 3 numbers in any order. So the first thing would probably be the easiest to do is multiply 2 and 5. So 2 times 5 is 10. So 10 times 3.14. Now I can go ahead and set up my problem and do 10 times 3.14. So I can just go 3.14 times 10. Anything times 0 is 0, so it would be zeros all the way across. Cross that out, put a placeholder. 1 times 4 is 4, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times 3 is 3. Add these up. So 0, 4, 1, 3. Now go back and notice I have 2 digits behind a decimal. So I need to put in 2 decimal places. So the circumference of this circle is 331.4 centimeters. Okay, now looking at the second problem, I need to find the circumference again. I have the radius. I know the formula, so I'm going to write out the formula and then fill in the information. So C equals 2 times pi times r. So 2 times, we're going to use 3.14 for pi because that's what it tells us to do, times the radius, which is 8. So against multiplication, do the 2 easiest numbers first. Well, I can times 2 times 8. 2 times 8 gives me 16 times 3.14. Okay, 16 times 3.14. Off to the side, I can go 3.14 times 16. And now I need to go ahead and start doing some math. So 6 times 4 is 24. Put the 4 down, carry a 2. 6 times 1 is 6. Plus 2 is 6, 7, 8. 6 times 3 gives me 18. Put an 8 down, carry the 1. There's nothing to catch it. It'll drop down. Cross 6 out, put my 0 for placeholder. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 3 is 3. Add them up. So 4, 8, 12, here 9, 10, 0, 1, 3, 4, 5. So now I need to double check at my problem. I have 2 digits behind a decimal. So go 1, 2, put a decimal back in. And the circumference of the circle is 50.24 yards. So that is, clean this up a little bit. That is my answer. So 50.24 yards. So now we have semicircles, and semicircles is 1/2 of a circle. So to find the perimeter of each of the semicircles, use 3.14 for pi. So steps for finding this. So what you're going to do for the steps, you're going to find half of the circumference first. Okay, so you're going to find the whole circumference and then find half of it. Then you're going to add the diameter to that number. So let's look at number 9. Okay, we need to find, so the circumference of this is going to be 1/2 times 2 pi r plus this right here. So that is going to be our, plus the diameter, right? So we know the radius is 4, so the diameter needs to be 8. And now we're going to go ahead and work through this problem. However, remember, order of operations, okay? We have to do all this math first before we can do anything outside of the parentheses. So in here, we're going to do, okay, doing this section. So we have the whole problem is 1/2 parentheses 2 times 3.14 times, the radius is 4, plus 8. So there's the whole problem. So first thing we should probably do is probably go 2 times 8. 2 times 4. 2 times 4, which is 8, times 3.14. Okay, again, I'm still in parentheses. So off to the side, you might want to go ahead and go 3.14 times 8. 4 times 8 gives you 32. So put a 2 down, carry the 3. 8 times 1 is 8. Plus 3 gives you 11. Carry the 1. 8 times 3 gives you 24. Plus 1 gives you 25. So 2, 5. Noticing I have 2 digits behind a decimal again. So I'm going to boom, boom, put it in here. So this is going to be 25.12, parentheses. Bring the rest of it down now. 1/2 plus 8. So again, order of operations. The next thing I need to do, okay, parentheses, I did all that. Exponents, I don't have any. Multiplication, division from left to right. So moving from left to right, I multiply this first, okay? So 25.12 times 1/2. So 1/2, I can turn that into a decimal, which I know is 0.5. Or I can go ahead and I know times anything by 1/2 is the same as dividing it by 2. So I can do that either way you want to. I would rather divide it by 2. So 2 goes into 2 one time. 2, 2, 0. I'm going to run out of room if I do that here. Hold on. Let's see if we can. We'll move it over here because we're not going to use this problem. Not going to use that problem. So 2, 0, 2 goes into 5 2 times. And 2 times 2 is 4. Minus 5 gives me 1. Bring this 1 down. 2 goes into 11 5 times. I'll have 10. Subtract that, I get 1. Bring 12, or the 2 down, I get 12. 2 goes into 12 6 times. So now when dividing, I only have a decimal in the house, so all I have to do is put it up here, right above where it was. So that is going, so when I multiply these two, or divide by 2, I get 12.56. Now, I can't forget, I need to add 8. So now to add, I'm going to set up my numbers. So 1, 2.56 plus 8. Set up the place values accordingly. Remember, 8 is a whole number. There's a decimal right after it. So now I can just add 6, 5. You can put the zeros in here if you need to. If not, don't worry about it. That'll be 10 and 1 here. So 2. So once I add all of those up together, I end up with 20.56 is the perimeter, that is in feet, around this semicircle.